Domino's, we know there's a lot of pressure to tip these days. Which is why we want to say,
thanks for the tip.
By tipping you back. Tip your Domino's driver $3 or more online and we'll tip you $3 to use on next week's order.
Wow.
Incredible. Amazing. My go-to is Lumify eye drops.
Lumify dramatically reduces redness.
In 1 minute.
And look at the difference.
My eyes look brighter and whiter.
For up to 8 hours.
Lumify? It's kind of amazing. See for yourself.
Tomorrow on ET, our ET Vault unlocks Hollywood golden boy Glenn Powell.
For me, this is as good as it gets.
It really is the summer of Glenn.
We're all caught up in his twister.
Oh, there you go.
Come on.
All right, before we go, check out this mini The Outsiders reunion.
Rob Lowe and Ralph Macchio both have shows on Netflix quizzing each other on how well they know the 80s.
Happening now.
Neighbors know this place on the north side as a party house, but that was not the scene at this short-term rental when a shooting claimed the life of a man in his 20s this morning. What we know about what happened.
You can see it on the horizon, Saharan dust, but is it here to stay? I've got that answer, plus sizzling heat as we head into the weekend.
And former President Donald Trump making headlines for what he said at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention. Comments that have people talking. We have a live report.
The question on so many minds, who will Vice President Kamala Harris pick as her running mate? Coming up, who the top candidates are. We're live from the White House. The News at 5 starts right now.
At First at 5, we have learned the name of the man hit and killed by an 18-wheeler this morning. The Bexar County Medical Examiner says he was 62-year-old Hector Reyna. The crash happened just before 11 a.m. on the southbound lanes of 410, just past Rigsby Avenue on the southeast side.
We're still trying to get more information about how this happened, but we do know that Reyna was hit by that big rig, and that crash caused traffic to back up this morning. It's unclear if this was just an accident or if any charges will be filed here. As soon as we get some more information, we'll keep you updated on air and online.
And speaking of traffic, let's check it out right now. Let's go to I-37 in Houston near downtown, and you can see definitely no traffic problems here. Things moving along very smoothly.
Yeah, we've been looking around all around town. 37 at 410 as well. You can see traffic moving along in both directions as well as on the access roads.
I want to tell you about a clear alert now issued for our area. Take a look at your screen. San Antonio police are looking for 54-year-old Michael Naldrett.
He was last seen around 7 last night near a shopping center off of Loop 1604 near Culebra Road on the far northwest side. Police believe he's a danger to himself. He may be driving in a white 2024 Toyota Camry with Texas license plate TST3381.
If you've seen Naldrett or know where police can find him, you're asked to call 210-207-7660. Into the latest on a man killed outside a party on the north side early this morning. Police called out to a home on Hawthorne Woods about 3 a.m. where they found a man in his 20s shot multiple times.
He has still not officially been identified, nor have police given any suspect descriptions in this case. But Garrett Berger tells us a local city councilman thinks there's another element to blame here: short-term rentals.
This 3,700 square foot home with a backyard pool was the site of a party that ended in gunfire early Wednesday morning.
They heard about 10 to 15 gunshots.
Police say at least 20 people were at the party. A woman who'd been there told us the house was rented for a birthday celebration and used in a music video. The victim, she said, was a Navy service member from San Antonio back for a visit. She said he left to get food when he was shot and killed.
That's when a vehicle, unknown at this time, with the unknown amount of suspects, shot that male with what they believe to be a rifle.
At least one neighbor told us the property was a party house, something Councilman Manny Pelaez, who represents the neighborhood, latched onto when talking with reporters.
Nobody should be surprised that we have tragedies like this arising from homes being used like party houses.
It's not clear how the property was advertised, but the city recently passed rules meant to make it easier to crack down on party houses on short-term rental sites like Airbnb or Vrbo. Pelaez, who's running for mayor, said he planned to talk with the police chief, mayor, and city manager about additional steps. The fact the rented house was used for a party, he says, played into the shooting.
I don't know enough to tell you that it was a direct result, but what I can tell you is that all the other Airbnbs that were rented out in my district last night that were used the way an Airbnb is supposed to be used, I don't have reporters standing in front of it, and I don't have police officers mopping up blood.
San Antonio police records show 4 calls to the home for loud music in the past 2 years. And while city code enforcement did not have any complaints on file about the property, a spokeswoman said the house should not have been operating as a short-term rental. The owner's permit had expired in April. The owner has since been cited and has a hearing in early September. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Now to comments made by former President Donald Trump this afternoon at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention in Chicago.
While being asked why black voters should pick him as opposed to Vice President Kamala Harris, Trump had this to say. Take a listen.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear.
As you heard, Trump's comments drew laughter from the crowd and started some rumbles among guests listening and the panel itself. In the crowd just happened to be our own KSAT reporter, Zaria Oates.
And Zaria joins us now live from Chicago. So Zaria, you went to this convention as a member of the National Association of Black Journalists. You were there in the room when Trump made these comments. So what was it like actually being there, seeing this in person?
Hey, Myra, Steve. I mean, it was pretty surreal to see this president or former President Donald Trump taking the stage at NABJ, something that's been pretty controversial since it was announced earlier this week that this was going to happen. We heard lots of boos, lots of cheers, also people kind of just yelling in disappointment. I think we all thought that it was pretty interesting that he chose this moment, this stage at NABJ to take a stance as to what race Kamala Harris is, Vice President Kamala Harris, and now presidential candidate Harris. I mean, a lot of us were talking about, this might be one of the largest groups of black individuals that he's spoken to since his campaign for re-election this year. And it's a really big deal that he took this opportunity to talk about race in that matter. A lot of people were visibly shocked. A lot of people said that they were confused, that they didn't understand that this was how he chose to answer some of the questions that maybe weren't about Kamala Harris and whether or not she was black, but whether voters wanted to vote for her because she was black or vote for him because of his views on how black people should be treated. It's been really interesting to see different people's perspectives on this, and we'll have more coming up at 6. Live in Chicago, Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, we have a lot more questions for you, Zaria. Thank you. And yeah, like you said, we'll talk to you again at 6 when we hear from some others in the crowd who you spoke with to get their reactions. Thank you, Zaria. Meanwhile, Democrats waiting to see who Vice President Kamala Harris actually picks as her running mate, as a few contenders appear to be rising to the front of the pack.
Julia Binbrook joins us live from the White House this evening with the latest on that search. Julia.
Well, we know that Kamala Harris has been studying notebooks full of information about these top VP contenders. And sources familiar with the process say that she's had preliminary conversations with some of those potential picks.
Just over a week ago, Kamala Harris was President Joe Biden's running mate. Now she's at the top of the ticket and searching for her own VP. The Harris team is working at a rapid pace to research and test out the top candidates.
I think being mentioned is certainly an honor. My job is to make sure that, and I trust that Vice President Harris' judgment, she'll make the best choice she's going to. But one way or another, she is going to win in November.
Several of those on the list have been hitting the airwaves and the campaign trail, showing their support.
She is ready to not just be the standard bearer of our party, but to be the 47th president of the United States of America.
And taking on former President Donald Trump.
He called her a bum. If he wants to see a bum, he ought to look in the mirror.
I have 2 daughters and a granddaughter. I really worry about their rights if Donald Trump is elected again and J.D. Vance is the vice president.
The top contenders include Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear are also still in conversation. There will be a decision soon. A source familiar with the planning says that Harris and her running mate will travel to a series of battleground states next week.
As is typical in these vice presidential searches, the Harris campaign has been intently focused on who would strengthen the ticket's electoral chances. And polling has been conducted on how at least some of these candidates, particularly Shapiro and Kelly, would impact their chances in battleground states. Reporting live at the White House, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
Julia, appreciate the insight. Thank you.
All right, back here at home, let's turn to the forecast. Sarah Spivey joins us today at 5. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, yeah, we're back to status quo, I think, for late July, early August with nothing but heat. And take a look at these weather watcher temperatures. 100 in Eagle Pass, 99 in Del Rio, 98 in Floresville, and 95 in Santa Maria. A little bit closer to San Antonio, you can see it's 96 in Mico, 94 in Bryan's Backyard and Bulverde, and 94 in Seguin. All right, tonight, the biggest thing you need to know is it's going to be pretty breezy. We'll see a few gusts from the southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So if tomorrow is trash day, just be aware that a few gusts of up to 30 miles per hour might send your trash can down just a little bit. So keep that in mind. 80 degrees by about midnight. In the pollen count, we've got 4 allergens out there. Molds are moderate, fall elm, pigweed, and grass are all low. But some people being affected by another type of allergen, Saharan dust. I'm showing you the horizon here. If you squint, you can kind of make out downtown San Antonio, covered in a haze from that Saharan dust. Coming up in the forecast, we're going to be talking about when that dust will dissipate. I'll give you some interesting dust facts, and we'll wrap up July and head into a sizzling start for August. Details coming up. Steve.
Thank you, Sarah. Longtime migrant advocate and civil rights activist Eduardo Eddie Canales has died. News of his passing began spreading this morning. He called Corpus Christi home, but Canales served as the director of the South Texas Human Rights Center in Falfurrias. That center confirming to us that Canales did pass away after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Director, just one of the many hats he wore as he consistently worked to ensure migrants were treated decently and respectfully. He was often found on the border checking and filling those blue buckets that you saw there, filled with gallon jugs of water for migrants to drink as they traveled along the border in the oppressive heat. He was also instrumental in making sure the bodies of the people who died were identified, buried, and their families notified. It was in Brooks County where I first met Eddie Canales, saw his efforts firsthand. His passion for his work was easy to see. Eddie Canales was 76 years old. Still to come on the news at 5, a major listeria outbreak around the country linked to some Boar's Head Company products. What you need to look for if you've bought any meats from them recently.
Plus, if you need back-to-school clothes for the kids, Target has a new program that's rolling out on Sunday. What they'll give you for old jeans. Coming up.
And coming up tonight on the news at 6, a man accused of causing a deadly accident 2 years ago had his trial begin today. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom as the jury was shown body cam footage from the scene and the defendant telling police the victim was to blame for the crash.
And believe it or not, studies show the majority of people experiencing homelessness are women and children, many of them fleeing domestic violence. Courtney Friedman takes us inside the shelter Haven for Hope, which has an entire office dedicated to these abuse survivors. Those stories and a whole lot more tonight on the news at 6.
Continuing here at 5, a big listeria outbreak around the country being linked to different Boar's Head meat products. Last week, the company recalled 200,000 pounds of ready-to-eat liverwurst and deli meat products. The listeria outbreak linked to sliced meat from grocery store deli counters. The recall then expanded to include other deli meats like ham, bologna, bacon, sausage products. The USDA said the meats were packaged with sell-by dates from July 29th through October 17th. If you have any of these recalled products, you should throw them out or return them for a refund. So far, more than 30 illnesses have been reported in 13 states, including 2 deaths, but none of these so far are in Texas.
Just in time for back-to-school shopping, Target customers can recycle their denim clothes and get 20% off of a new denim item with the Target Circle Rewards program. From August 4th through the 10th, you can recycle up to 5 items in any condition at marked in-store boxes for a Target Circle promo code. The discount can be used on Target-owned brands or national brands like Levi's. And in case you're wondering when tax-free weekend is, not this weekend, but it's next weekend. August 9th through the 11th.
There are a lot of parents who already have that on their calendar for back to school stuff.
Yep, I knew that.
Yeah. It's feeling like August, even though we're not officially there yet. Sarah.
Not officially, but as August is around the corner, we're getting excited for a new season of Science with Sarah.
All right.
Make sure if you want to apply for me to go to your kid's school, for your teacher and you want to apply, search Science with Sarah. There's a form there for you to fill out. You should check it out. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at the time lapse here. And you can see that haze on the horizon from the Saharan dust. It was very noticeable today as you were heading out and about. And also it was very hot. You know, whenever we have Saharan dust in the air, it's a fairly dry air mass, but it's been pretty humid at the surface. And so it's 97 outside right now, but it feels like 104 because of high humidity. And it's breezy too. We've got southeast winds at 13 miles per hour. The Saharan dust is causing a bit of a dip in the air quality. Now, the air quality is unhealthy for those who are sensitive to the dust, usually folks with some respiratory issues. But no worries, because tomorrow the air quality is expected to improve rather. So it will be improved air quality tomorrow as that dust thins out. Here's where the dust is right now. You can clearly see that here in San Antonio and other parts of South Texas are in the densest part of the dust. So it's peaking today. We've got hazy skies and even some minor allergy issues. But here's a dust fact in case you missed it. 180 million tons of dust moves across the Atlantic every year. Each year, that's how much dust. That's 4.5 million 18-wheelers worth of dust. So this is something we're used to. It comes in waves. This is a dense plume, but as the heat high moves over toward parts of Oklahoma, we're going to see that dust thin out. And by the weekend, it really will not be much of an issue at all for us. This month has been impressive. July, usually pretty dry. We have seen a lot of rain this month. Take a look at this calendar for the month. There were several days from the 18th through the 25th that at least a trace of rain was reported at the airport. And on Sunday, we saw more than an inch of rain, which is a record for the day. Our rainfall totals at 4¼ inches of rain for the month, which is almost 2 inches above the average for the month. Impressive to see that much rain this July. Unfortunately, as we head into August, it is going to be dry and hot, kind of back to the status quo. Our average high this time of year is 97, so we'll be hot, not too much hotter than average, but there will be a day, Saturday, will be close to 100 degrees, so we might add on to that triple-digit tally. As for your forecast tomorrow, waking up at 75 degrees early tomorrow, partly cloudy. There will still be some haze, but it won't be as bad as today. By noon, it'll be 89 and mostly sunny. And in the afternoon, we'll be looking at a high of 97, feeling like 105. Still a breeze, just not as breezy as today with southeast winds. What I'm showing you here is the heat index values tomorrow. All right, it's going to feel like 104 right around 6 o'clock tomorrow, 106 in Gonzales, 104 in Pleasanton, and 101 in Del Rio. I fully expect a fairly quiet weekend for us. There's a small chance for an isolated storm on Sunday, mainly during the second part of the day, but we'll be looking at high temperatures close to 100. Now, Steve and Myra, as we head into August, coming up at 6, I'm going to have a look at what's normal for August. What do we usually see? And is this upcoming August expected to be warmer than average, cooler than average? We had an impressive July. I'll have the answer for your August forecast coming up at 6.
Yeah, July was unusual.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm not complaining.
Nope, not at all. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. All right, he's not Superman. But he is definitely a man of steel.
Yeah, Terrence Steele.
Yeah.
And he loves the fact that he went to Steele High School and his last name is Steele. He told us that last night when we had a chance to go one-on-one with Terrence Steele at a Cowboys camp. And coming up, he is just the latest member of the Steele Knights to play in the NFL. And the Houston Texans will kick off the preseason tomorrow night. We got it coming up.
It was very prideful to be going to Steele, and my last name's Steele too, so I took a little extra pride in that.
Terrence Steele is another Steele Knight to play in the NFL as we go camping with KSAT. Terrence Steele and the Dallas Cowboys practice in pads again today out in Oxnard, California. Steele at Steele High School is another night playing in the NFL, joining guys like Malcolm Brown, Caden Stearns, Jalen Jones, and J.T. Woods. Yesterday, before leaving Cali, we sat down with Terrence and asked him about Steele High School producing NFL players.
Just the program they got running over there, man. The coaches know what they're doing. I know they're very professional in what they do. They care about, making sure you have the grades to go to college and be successful that way. But on the field too, man, and in the weight room, they take a lot of pride in what they do, and it shows. And the players buy in, and this is the recipe for success right there.
And so Jinx helped recruit you to Texas Tech, correct?
He did, yes, sir.
Okay, what was it like blocking for Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah. So I blocked for Pat my redshirt freshman year. And everything you see him doing now, man, he was doing that back then in college, man. But talk about the ultimate competitor and Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like even outside, like even in the locker room, if he's playing table tennis or whatever, man, he's trying to win everything. So it carried on to the field, man. He's a natural leader, and I'm honestly not surprised by the success he's had so far. Yeah.
After 2 straight days of practice, the Houston Texans left for Canton, Ohio today, where they will kick off the preseason Thursday night against the Chicago Bears. The game will coincide with Texans great Andre Johnson becoming the first player in franchise history to be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. As for the game itself, D'Amico Ryans was asked about the game plan.
This first preseason game, right, being the extra game for us, really looking to see most of our young guys get out and see them compete, right, and see if they can take the things we've been teaching them daily from the field, see if they can take it and show up when the lights are on. That's the main thing you see in this first game, Hall of Fame game. You'll see a lot of young guys, right, who are vying for a spot to make it in the NFL, and so it'll be great to see those guys go out and compete.
Hall of Fame game is tomorrow night at 7 in Canton, Ohio, and live here on KSAT 12.
Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yeah.
It snuck up on me.
Are you ready for some football?
I thought you meant next Thursday.
No, tomorrow.
All right.
Let's go.
Thanks, Larry. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. The Federal Reserve has decided to hold interest rates steady after its latest 2-day meeting wrapped up today. However, Fed officials have shown signs they'll begin to lower interest rates in September. Inflation still remains above the target, but it has been easing up. With interest rates staying where they are, that allows the central bank time to make sure that current trend holds ahead of its next meeting in September.
Educator of the Month, brought to you by First Mark Credit Union.
The summer is coming to an end, and many families and teachers looking ahead to the new school year. We want to remind you that we're continuing our Educator of the Month nominations this year. Each month, one special educator will be recognized for the work that he or she does and will receive a $500 Visa gift card from First Mark Credit Union.
And it's not just for teachers. It could be a bus driver that's made a difference, a custodian, a cafeteria worker, anyone making a positive impact at your school. So just scan this QR code you see here to nominate your favorite educator for a chance to win.
Yeah, maybe you got a little extra macaroni and cheese.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
High temperature is going to be in the upper 90s in the coming days. We'll have one more day where the Saharan dust will be pretty noticeable on the horizon tomorrow. So keep that in mind. At least the air quality will improve tomorrow. So that's some good news. Only small chance for an isolated shower storm on Sunday. So for the first time in a while, a weekend where you probably won't get interrupted by rain. So enjoy those summertime activities.
Yeah. I still remember my favorite cafeteria worker in elementary.
Really?
She was so sweet.
The hairnet, everything?
Yeah, I do.